Hey guys, Richard for Beyond College Success, and today's episode is going to college as a backup plan. Believe it or not, most people go to college as a backup plan simply because plan A might not work or might fail. My question to you will be, what is your plan A? And in most cases, you are passionate about plan A, but of course, I've given in to some of the pressures from your family and friends to go into college and obtain a degree just as a safe option. There's nothing inherently bad with that. But in this video, we're going to focus on how or what it takes to make that big switch from your college education, if that's not what you're passionate about, into your plan A, which is really what you feel you are called to do with your life. So let's make that distinction in this video and let's crack into it now. Going to college as a backup option, why is it important and why am I talking about it? Well, I believe that if there's something you wanted to do before you came to college and you feel strongly about that thing, but based on some of the comments and criticism that you've been getting from your family and friends to actually go on and get a degree that will really pay the bills, then you might just kind of put the plan A at the side burner and never really get to it until you are probably in your 30s or 40s. But really, what I'm saying here in this video is, or what I'm trying to do in this channel, is to empower you to start living to those dreams, right? That's the whole point of this channel, right? So if you're a young person who really envisions something massive for yourself, like becoming a top writer, singer, rapper, any of this non-college type of education, then you would have gotten the typical criticism that, hey, listen, you need to keep this stuff like your dreams as a hobby, and you could always obviously go to college and get a degree that pays the bills, whereas your current vision of what you want to do would not pay the bills. And of course, to some degree, these people are correct, because currently, or if you're a young person who is just starting off college, then you really don't have the skills and expertise to really know what that field entails and what are the criteria if you haven't actually done the work that is required to be in that field. So what I'm advocating here is that if you do come to college as a backup plan, how do you keep those dreams still floating at the background and really simultaneously working on them so that you can really build a case for why you need to go after this after graduating? Usually what most people do falls into three of these categories, and I really want to kind of explain them to you. One is that you come into college and forget about plan A and kind of believe that you're a very naive young person who really don't know anything about the world but just dreaming big in essence. Or number two is that you could come to college and just kind of partly do your plan A, and then kind of focus on education, which is your formal education, and then kind of work and find interest around that area, which is okay also. Or you could be that type, which I was doing 50% of my plan A, working on that to kind of build a case for why I need to go after it, and then at the side also I was kind of working on my formal education, which is my engineering degree, and I totally like both. So this is what I'm encouraging you to do so that you can build enough case and build up enough profile for yourself and enough reasons why you want to chase those things, which is your plan A. And I really believe that this is what you should be living, because you want to align yourself with your plan A, because that's really what you are most passionate about, and this is what you're going to be delivering, what you'll be delivering if you'll be delivering the most if you go after what you're passionate about, if you get me on that point. Let's make a couple of distinctions here. Well, I'm not talking to those who are completely satisfied with their current degrees at the moment. Really, I'm talking to those who are not 100% bought into their current degrees, and somewhere in the back of their minds they know they should be doing something, but at the same time they feel they are going on a direction which is their current college degree, bringing them in a specific career path, and maybe that's not what they want ultimately with their future, right? So how do we do this smoothly? How do we transition smoothly from your current degree into something that you want to do? Of course, you can come into college and totally scrap away your plan A and willing to take on a new adventure, which is like coming into college and trying to make the most out of your college degree. In that case, you will find your college degree interesting, and maybe to some level you will develop some interest or an interest in a specific area where you're willing to invest your time and avail of all the opportunities that come in that area. That's always a nice thing that can happen to you. But in my case though, or my story, I think my story really embodies what I'm trying to talk about in this video, which is obviously going to college as a as a backup option. For me, I wouldn't say I went to college totally as a backup option, but I really went there because I had a higher vision of what I wanted to accomplish, but I wasn't really clear about it. I didn't articulate it very well at that age. But over the last 5 years, as I've gone through, like, my formal education and invested more time into that field, I'm able to carve out a more clear picture, and I have a more emotional reason why I want to do that, and I just feel very compelled and pushed in that direction. So this is what I'm saying, if that makes sense. I hope this doesn't sound too confusing. Anyway, so where did I start when I came to college? So my mindset was that when I come into college, it would be very easy transition. Of course, I liked engineering, but I always felt like it would be an easy transition when I get my degree, get my master's, then I can just pretty much F off to some other career. But of course, that's not the case, because now I'm looking to graduate and I'm kind of thinking back. I'm like, you know what? I've invested so much time in this. How do I make that switch? For me, that really, the time investment isn't really the problem, because I really totally enjoyed what I did in college and all that kind of stuff. But there's also some financial obstacles between transitioning and making that big change from one degree or one career to another. So the best way to do this is actually kind of slowly transitioning, right? So for most people, they really don't take this seriously. So they would have something like, their grand vision for their life, but then they will go into careers whereby they are not really fulfilling that, they're not really meeting, they're not living up to that, therefore just kind of going to mundane corporate lifestyle where they're working 9 to 5. For me, I really want to make this call right now rather than later. So, and I'm making the call to my in my life right now, and here are some of the challenges that I am facing at the moment. This is not to say that they are preventing me in any way, but perhaps these are some of the challenges that you would face. And this video is more to give you an insight to what it takes to make that transition. That's the OSS of this video, what it takes to make that smooth transition from what you envision for yourself and what your career path or your degree is leading you towards. Well, I want you to acknowledge and see that changing career just after graduating from, I don't know, whatever department you went into, and you want to really pursue your grand vision for your life and maybe start up that company you want, maybe start up your own business that you want, or maybe do something different you want to do with your life. After graduating, I find it's the best time to do it. Maybe it might not apply to you. I mean, your situation is different from mine. It might require you to, I don't know, spend a couple of years working in the industry, whatever it is. But I want you to really take this to heart and be always mindful of what you want to do with your future, because I think the excitement in life is not based on the structure that we have in society, whereby you finish college, you go into the corporate world, you work there for a couple of years, you get your family rolling and all this kind of stuff. Those are nice, there's nothing bad with that, but I think the real excitement in life comes when you're on a hero's journey, and you're pretty much kind of going with the flow, but with a passion, and then you kind of figuring your way out. You're coming across so many difficulties, but at the same time you're dealing with it. Every day is a new challenge, and that's how life gets interesting. And for me, that's where I really want to be at. And I think my life has, or at least for the last 5 years, I've always wanted to be about this, and I've gone to college for the last 5 years, 6 years to make this happen. For me, this is an exciting time. Now, let me go through some of the obstacles that you will face when trying to make something massive out of your life, or at least want to live to your highest purpose and the highest person that you envision for yourself, because there are obstacles that you need to be aware of. Otherwise, you'll be naive, kind of saying, well, there isn't any obstacles. One of the obstacles that you will face is yourself. Now, of course, we want to do well, but I also find that we self-sabotage ourselves by just kind of, self-limiting ourselves with kind of, very negative thinking about ourselves. We doubt if we can actually accomplish that much, doubt if we can make that much, all this kind of stuff. These are really kind of hindering us, obviously, as you could tell. Number two is other people. People generally mean well when they try to encourage us, and especially as a young person, we take orders from people who are older, believing and taking for a fact that their words are true, precise, and correct. Whereas I find that most people actually don't know. Nobody can really tell you what vision or what path to take with your life. So the best possible way for you to actually be successful is to actually just go with the flow. I find anyway. Now you don't have to take my point for that, but I think that's the most positive thing you could do and the most less distracting thing you could do anyway. Number three obstacle is finance. Of course, there are many ways you could kind of handle your finance here so that the switch between you, say if you want to start a business and all that kind of stuff, or you want to take time off to really figure out something else or whatever, there are millions of ways to do this finance. Again, your circumstance is different from mine, so I can't really recommend anything, but I trust that you will be able to do something, really smart and clever around that area. Now, your mindset, you also have to start making the hard choices that you want to contribute to the world positively. You have to let this be what you want to do with your life. And I think aligning your life with your highest value and with your gifts and your talents, that's really the best thing you can ever do with the world, because we get to see and get to hear some of you, or get to see some of your gifts and some of the things that you're going to contribute into the world and really enrich the world in a very positive way. All right, I think that's it for this video. I am signing off. Please make sure you subscribe, the usual stuff, share with a friend, like this video, and I shall see you next week.